everyone, it's Nancy. I have another project for you, a real easy project. Could be a nice gift for someone, some flat mail. And once again, it's a design team project for SweetPeaCuriosities, and it's using Marisa's vintage embossed papers. So another idea I came up with is to make a little vintage stationery set. So let me just tell you what you need. I used her digital set. I printed off one of the pages on about 65-pound cardstock. You can print on both sides if you like. I just printed on one side. And you're going to score at 4 inches and 2 inches. Okay, so score it at 4 inches and 2 inches there. All right, and then option, I rounded the corners on the 2-inch side after I folded it, gave it a crease. I rounded the corners on the 4-inch side because that's going to be our flap here. And I also took my sewing machine and stitched just like a little zigzag from here all the way around to here. So when you fold it, it's going to look like that. You don't have to do any stitching. You don't even have to do any inking on it. It's just personal preference. The next thing you're going to do is we need to make a couple gussets to go on the side. So I cut 2 pieces of just coffee dyed paper, or you can use the digital set if you, whatever you want, but coffee dyed paper goes so well with this kit. So you need 2 pieces that measure 3 7/8 by 2, and then 3 7/8 by 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half this way, and then what I did was I folded one piece back, creased it, and then fold the other crease back like that. So you're going to make 2 of these, 2 gussets, okay? All right, and let me just move that out of the way there. Okay, so what we're going to do then, you have your little stationery holder here. We're going to glue the gussets in, and I'm going to glue them on the flap side, the 4-inch side. And so what you want to do is you want to hold it like it's a W, and you're going to glue it on the inside of your cover here with some glue. Now you can, I wouldn't use glue stick, I would just use your wet glue. And so you're going to put some glue on one side here. And remember, the gussets are the raw edges are facing in. So what you're going to do is put glue on one side, and what I want to do is bring it up, not right up onto the crease, but close to the crease and close to the edge. And that should fit just fine. So I have like a little bit of space there, but it is up to here. And so it looks like this. Okay. And so we're going to do that on the other side too. We're going to put some glue here. And we're going to glue it up to the edge, like so. So then it looks like this. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is put some glue here. And you don't need a lot. Okay. Once we do that, we're going to kind of hold it down with your fingers, flip it over, and press it down into place. And just hold it there for a minute, or you can use clips if you have a couple clips or paper clips, whatever kind of clips you have. Or you can just hold it for, I know if you use glitter glue, it sets up really fast. I use the Barely Arts glue. I like that glue myself. So it gives me just a little bit of wiggle room there. Okay. All right. And then that gives us our gusset here. Okay. I'm going to put a couple of clips there. Let me get a couple of my clips if I can, just to hold it in place here for a minute. In a moment. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'll just put a couple clips there. So we'll hold that in place for a second, okay? Then I want to show you what to do with the rest of the digital collection. You're going to make your own envelopes, and we're going to need some coffee dyed paper. So let's get some of this, some of the digital collection here to make an envelope. And it doesn't matter, you can use whatever you like. So I'll show you how to make an envelope. So I printed this on 8.5 by 11, 20. I like to print on 28-pound paper, but that's a personal preference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I make the easiest envelope I can make. So what I'm going to, and you don't even have to score it, I just kind of eyeball it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up about maybe 1/2 inch on each side, just by eyeing it. Crease it down, turn it around, fold it up another 1/2 inch. Doesn't have to be exact, just use your eye, give it a crease, okay? You can just press that back open again. All right, and then we're going to fold up, oh, let's see. Let me take a measure and see about how far I'm folding this up here. I made one previous, so I folded it up about, oh, maybe like 4 1/4 inches. I'm guessing I folded. So let's just measure that. That's about right. So if you need an exact measurement, I measured this up 4 1/4. And then the flap I folded down. You just don't want to come straight down to here. You want to give it about 1/2 inch. So you can just eyeball that too, and then give that a pinch there, and then go straight across, okay? All right, so we have this here, we have this here, and we already folded our sides in, right? Okay, so I want to show you, let me look for my pencil. Okay, so I can just kind of draw this in because it's so light on my white table here. This is our line that we creased, right? And then we creased here and here and here and here, right? So we're going to cut away some of this. We don't need it. So first we're going to cut, I like to cut on the inside of the line. We're going to cut on the flap side, straight down, cut it off, cut down on this flap side on just slightly to the left of that crease line. Okay, that's our flap. And then on the bottom here, we're going to cut up, and you could probably see I'm a lefty, so it might look a little funny to some of you, but cut up there and then cut that on an angle, and cut up this side here. Okay, so here we go. Now what I like to do is on the flap, I like to round my corners. You don't have to, but I just take a corner rounder, round my 2 corners on my upper flap. It would be cute too if you had a decorative edge. You can make a decorative edge. If you had like a punch, you could do a decorative edge there. Okay, and then just fold these back in. And then what I do is I take a little glue here, a little glue here, and then we're going to close my glue up, and we're going to fold this up. You can just line it up again, give it a press. Okay, we have an envelope. Voila, just like that. Okay, and that's how I made this one. So now what's going to be fun, it doesn't matter if words are upside down because it's so lightly printed on that once you put your address label, you write out who it's to, put your stamp on. We're going to do a little decoration on the bottom here. It's going to be perfect, okay? So now, and like I said, if you want to ink the edges, that's optional as well, okay? So that's what we're going to do there. If you are off a little bit, like I am here, just a little bit off, you can always go back and trim just a little bit. Okay. And then our our little holder here is dry. So here's our gusset. It's going to hold our envelopes and our stationery. Let me get to that in a minute. We'll finish that off in a minute. So just really lightly decorating. You can do any kind of decoration you want. Let's see, I just have some papers here, some of my faux vintage tape I made, and I just put a little decoration here on the bottom. And music paper is always fun, so I can put this piece of music paper. So I'm just gonna put a little glue on there, glue that down here. Okay, and what else do I have here? You don't have to put much, just a little something. I took some paper and just ran it through an embossing folder, and that really looks really, really pretty. Let's put some of that in here. Maybe I can ink that up a little bit. You can use any kind of papers you want. You can use, oh yeah, we have Tracy labels too. I think we all have Tracy labels, so I can get those out. You can use color if you want to add a little color, like this envelope that I made has a little bit of pink, a little bit of purple writing in there. So we can even do like a real pretty label on there if you want. But let me put a piece of this embossing here, just to decorate it a little bit. And then maybe a piece of my vintage tape, my faux vintage tape, I should say. Let me see if I can get a piece of that off. There's a lot of videos out on how to make this tape. It's so easy. I'll just put a little bit here. And really, that's all you need. So there's two of my envelopes. Okay, so let me show you how to make the stationery. Now this reminds me of stationery that was used, oh, you know, in the days when letter writing was so popular, or really when you had to write letters. So, you know, when they had pretty vintage looking paper, and then they had like their crest up here, the family crest, or a real pretty design up here. So this is what I did with coffee dyed paper to go with the envelopes. Now you can use any kind of stamp sets you want. Let me get my paper here. I just took some coffee dyed paper. Let's see, measure it to my envelope here. So I'm going to cut my paper, say, I'm going to maybe cut it 7 inches. So let me get my cutter out. This is really quick to make, and you could whip up a set for somebody if you need a quick gift for somebody. This would be a perfect gift. And then what I did was just give it a fold. Fold it like this, three ways. Doesn't have to be perfect. So then when you open it, you would write on it here. But let's put something cute up here. So, you know, I have a lot of Stampin' Up stamps, and if you have some stamps, go through your stamps, see what would you think would look really pretty on this piece of stationery. I have these 2 sets here. So I used this one here on here, which I thought was real pretty. There's a key, a crown. This one here, I like this design right here. So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to grab this one out of here. And then I just put it here and on my block, and then I'm going to stamp it on some vintage photo. Of course, you could make, you know, colored stationery to go with whatever color you want. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to the top here, give it a press here, and that's it. Let it dry for a second. And you could make, you know, 3, 4 different envelopes. You can make 3, 4 different pieces of paper. And then what I did was just leave it folded like this. You can put it with the envelope like this. Let me take my other one. You can make as many as you think will fit in there. There's 2 of them. You can grab it like this. And then let's take this back. Let's put this inside. Oh, we can definitely fit probably, oh gosh, with the gusset, you could probably fit another 2 to 4 more. So you would have a set of 6, set of 4, or set of 6 in there. And then what I did was just measure this, because this measures about 8.5. So I marked it at the center, 4 1/4. And then what I'm going to do is take my eyelet setter here in my punch, and I'm going to use a little eyelet, make a hole where I put that mark, and then put my eyelet in, and let me set that. Hold still for me here. I mean, you don't have to put an eyelet in, you can just wrap a ribbon around it. Let's see if I can put this on. My hands are not very strong here. So let me see if I can get this on here. Oh, having a hard time here. Hold on. Let's see here. Maybe I need to... Nope, I had it set right. Let me get this back here. Okay. There we go. Let's see if this works now. Okay, here we go. Boy, I didn't eat my Wheaties today, did I? Okay. All right, so I've got my eyelet in. It's a little heart, so I got it on a little crooked, but it'll work, you know. And then I have some vintage. Well, it's not vintage, but it looks vintage. Some seam binding that's hand dyed. And let me put that through there. And then you could just put it through, tie it up. And hold that together. Put a bow on it. Of course, I would cut that off there, but what a pretty gift. I mean, you can even put some decoration over here if you like to, but this paper is just so pretty. It lends itself to, you know, it's just a beautiful neutral gift, and you can just add, like I said, this here, there's a little purple on here. Some of them have a little blue, pink, so you can pick up those colors with your little decorations. You could put the faux stamps on here, and it is flat. I mean, it's not that big. I only have 2 envelopes and stationery in there, but like I said, I think you could fit about 4 for sure, up to 6. And what a beautiful gift this would be. So I just wanted to show another option with these beautiful vintage embossed papers by SweetPeaCuriosities, and I'll link Marisa's Etsy shop down below. And hope you like the project. Please give me a comment and a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, and have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye.